Well, howdy, 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 everybody. Teresa here. It is March 15th, 2022. It is the 2-year anniversary of when Brad quit work. 2 years ago on this date, he was working for the state of Florida in the child support division, where he would go into Tallahassee every day into his assigned cubicle. It was a miserable job. God bless everybody that does that job because it's a hard job and it's pretty miserable. But we had decided he was having more and more difficulty walking, and he was like he would not drink anything all day long because the bathrooms were so far away that it would take him his entire 15-minute break, and maybe still not get back there in time. So we had decided at the end of March he would quit work, and he would refile for disability, and we would just see what was going to happen. We were just, kind of trying to make it just as we could. We didn't even know how we were going to manage that. But then the Rona started really hitting, and you're hearing more and more of this in the news, and this is when you first couldn't get toilet paper and all of that. So we decided to have him quit 2 weeks earlier because we felt like this is before the government shut down offices and stuff, that it just wasn't safe for him to, and I'm going to ask him to quit moving because I can see you right out of the corner of my eye, and it's really disruptive. Okay? Okay, you moved all you're going to move besides the breathing. Thank you. It's so disruptive because I even moved my table more this way. So, but yeah, so it's been 2 years. Who would have known? Who knew that 2 years later we still would be going through all this Rona, with the different strains and stuff, and that we still all would be wearing masks. Even if you don't wear masks most of the time, you still do. Most, like around here, any medical place you go into, you've got to wear a mask and stuff. But yeah, now they're talking about a fourth boost, a fourth shot, be a second booster, I guess. It is what it is. So, it's kind of a cloudy day. It's not that, well, it feels like it's not that warm out, but my phone says 68 degrees right now. But it got cold last night, and I've been feeling, I'm going to admit to all you guys, I'm not feeling that great as of lately. And I think some of you guys that know me better can tell that. So I've been having some problems with dizziness and being lightheaded, and with shaking really bad because I'm so cold and I can't get warm. So I've got a bit of a cold, I think. Also, Brad's first one said, "I think you need some cold medicine." So anyway, so I've been feeling under the weather for probably about a good week now. I'll be all right. Well, not a whole week. Been maybe half a week. I don't know. Been a bit. I have a tendency not to really pay attention. One day you may feel like crap, or you may even feel like crap for just part of the day. Because who really feels wonderful when you wake up in the morning? Most of us don't. Or who feels really wonderful late at night? Most of us don't. But you're going to have usually, maybe by afternoon, you feel not too bad. So, but I haven't been feeling real great. Having to come with some terms with some of the things going on with my body and stuff. And part of me is like, well, maybe I need to slow things down just a little bit and really be in take into account what's really going on and stuff and the edema is bad, and sometimes when it gets super bad it gets into the pulmonary, and so then it's pulmonary edema, and that's when we have a problem. I mean, as uncomfortable as it is in the legs and feet, when it becomes in your organs is when it's really a problem. And that will limit my breathing, and that's, I hate, because then I can't walk as much as I want to because of the shortness of breath. That's why seeing the pulmonologist was so very important, but that I didn't get to see. But I have an appointment a week from today with my primary care doctor. And we're going to address that. We're going to address the fact that I've waited all that time for the edema clinic call and never gotten any help. The fact that the edema has gotten so bad anymore that even though I take an insane amount, an insanely high dose of furosemide, 100 milligrams, I take 2 a day, which every doctor is just like, wow, because it's such a high dose, 200 milligrams. It's, you know, so it's not working anymore. Sometimes I might get a little bit of relief from it, but a lot of times I take it and the next morning you wake up, you would never know I took anything. So I'm going to have to do something different. And yes, I'm doing compression stockings and I'm wrapping my leg. And I don't put my legs up as often as I should. I just don't really like it. You don't get to nod your head. I see you. You were nodding your head. It's hard to put your legs up and do anything.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It really is. I mean, they always say, elevate your legs. Well, you might need to do some household chores because our maid quit. Something about wanting to be paid or some junk like that. So yeah, we don't have a maid, and when you have a husband who's recovering from hip surgery, and still his back is still killing him. I mean, you know, the hips are better, but it didn't fix his back at all. I mean, we didn't think it would, but it's hard to, but I need to start being kinder to my body. I need to start. I still see you. Unless you have Tourette syndrome and that's why you're nodding your head yes. Bradley? I'm going to put a bag over his head yet. A plastic one. Anyway, he knows I'm joking. But I'm looking at him. Anyway, it's hard to admit that you have a problem. It's hard to admit that I told Brad last night, like, I think I might be in trouble. Because before I used to be able to exercise and get the water to the water weight to go. Then I used to be able to exercise and still do even a diuretic over the counter, and that would take care of it. Then we had to move on to the Lasix, then to the furosemide, now to the furosemide, and we're still, and they can get it off really well for me if I'm in the hospital, and they'll just saturate my IVs with super strong Lasix, But who can go in the hospital all the time, So I don't know. We're going to have to do something because it's getting where it's really, really difficult for me to walk because my swelling is so bad that it's not just you think of a foot swelling, you think of probably just perhaps the top, right? We don't think about it's swelling all the way around. So it's swelling on the bottom too. So now I'm walking on bumpy pillows that feels like I'm walking on a great big stone, even though I'm not, because neuropathy had done it where my foot is halfway numb now. So picture a really, really thick crusted bread that you baked and you slice into it. So the outside is really, really done. Well, that would be your numb part. But then the more you get into the center, maybe the center is even still a bit doughy that you need to cook a little longer. That's the pain and the needles and stuff of the inside of a neuropathy of the foot and the legs. And that's the best analogy I can come up with to describe, because you don't really think of it that way. Because somebody will say, oh, well, I have neuropathy. And if you know anything about it, you think, okay, well, you're starting to get some numbness. And they're like, yeah, but my feet really hurt. And you think, Brad used to tell me that, and I'd be like, wait, You told me your feet are starting to go numb, but then they really hurt. And then he would say pins and needles. And now, since I'm going through it, I'm like, I know exactly what he's meaning. And if he hadn't already gone through it, I would really be freaked out. But because he's gone through it and gone through it even more than me, I've seen what he's gone through, and it's like, okay, this is what's going on. But it's like I check my feet every couple. You should check your feet every night or every couple of nights. You know, at least once a week if you're diabetic. Well, I check my feet every couple of days, and checked my feet last night, and I realized I had 3 big splinters in my feet. And one was really in deep, but I didn't feel it because of the neuropathy. Crazy, you know. But I'm gonna need some help with that. We're gonna need to get. We've talked about a wheelchair ramp before, but it's so hard for me to get up and down on the stairs that I really need a ramp. So we're talking about even maybe looking at. I don't have the funds for it right now, but even getting a metal one because wood prices have gone up so high, or something figured out. We'll figure something out. You know, it doesn't have to be a ramp that's conducive to what would be okay and be regulations for a wheelchair, but just something that's a walking ramp even would be easier for me, probably easier for you. I mean, you know, so just kind of making adjustments as you age to the edema's not going to go away. I'm going to fight this the rest of my life. And I know that. And I guess it kind of really is hit home because it used to be an occasional thing and now it's permanent, you know. And not necessarily the weight. I know a lot of people assume that. Of course, weight never helps anything. But I'm going to say this here and now. I want everybody to back off of my weight. Whatever you think, keep it to yourself. I don't come at anybody about their weight, whether I think you're too thin, if I think you're, you know, too big. You know, I don't. I have a long history of bulimia. I was my mother's and my grandparents and stuff, my grandmother and stuff. I was everybody's good eater. And I was my mother's eating buddy until she decided to lose a lot of weight. And then from that time on, she rode me about my weight constantly. And I mean, did some really very cruel things. She knew, so how I got her to leave me alone was I became bulimic in high school. So I dropped the weight. She kept going on about how great I looked, even though she knew I was bulimic and didn't do a thing about it. She didn't care as long as I looked good to everybody else, you know. And then I carried that out for many, many, many years, even throughout my marriage with Brad and stuff. I mean, I will do really great losing weight, and then I'll get at a certain point where I become so hungry that then I'll go back to doing the bulimia things. And I always use laxatives. I never was one to really throw up. It almost killed me for a very, very long time. This is too much TMI, but I could not have regular movements. That I was always, you know, having the liquid lava. And it did almost do me in. And at one point in time, my doctor was like, I think that's all we can have this now. You know, you've destroyed your body enough that this is all it's going to be. And so I don't come at anybody about their weight, whether it's good intentions or not. It kind of puts a thing in my head that I'm not good enough, that I'm not accepted the way I am. I want to be accepted just how I am. Whether or not I improve, and it would have to be just for me, not because I want to make anybody else happy. And I just want to be accepted how I am. Trust me, I'm not going on any big eating binge. I'd like to sometimes. I'd like to do a whole chocolate factory, right? But we're diabetics. And I almost died because I was in a diabetic coma with a blood sugar over 800. Kidneys were shutting down, multiple organs shutting down. I didn't think I was going to make it. So, as much as I would like to, I have to keep myself in check. Now, usually every night I'll have 1 or 2 Hershey Kisses, but last night I was feeling very emotional. I was having a rough go of it, right? Because there's things I want to go do, and I can't because I have to stay home, and I'll get into that in a minute. But I thought, I opened up the container, and I took out a big old handful of these Hershey Kisses. And I'm like, F it. I'm just going to eat all the chocolate I want. I sat there for a minute, maybe 2, looked at them, stared at them, like if I could have had x-ray vision. But I grabbed them and I put them back in that container and I put that lid back on because I know better and I'm scared to death. I don't want to ever go through what I went through before. And I can't afford to have my blood sugar just going spiking real high. That'll make any infection worse. And I know that. And, but, that struggle is real. But I would have loved to have just gone nuts. And I know there's lots of times Brad would love to go nuts on different carbs and stuff, especially with cost of inflation because everything going up so high. Of course, those cheap cheese puffs and stuff are always going to be a lot cheaper than blueberries or strawberries or any of that. But you can't do that. But please, please, if you really care about me as a person, just accept me the way I am. If I lose weight, great. If I don't, great. What works for you doesn't mean it necessarily will work for me and vice versa. I have lost all the weight before, and I was even sicker. Not saying that that's, really a catalyst, but I did lose it before without any surgeries or anything. I have tried to get weight loss surgery 3 times and not been able to do it 3 times. And I'm getting to the age where they don't really like to do the surgery if you get too much older. I think 62 is the cutoff. I'm not sure. But I'm not trying anymore. 3 strikes, you're out. I'm not going to get my hopes up for that. Can I do better? Yes. Always a work in progress. I am the first one to say, hey, I think maybe instead of being hungry and then I think I'm wanting these carbs, I need to back off and eat more vegetables. I need to make healthier choices. It would be better for me to eat some peanut butter than to eat like a lot of potato chips or something. You can get the potato chips and no salt, and that's a nice option. But still, you got to keep it all in check. So, I accept and love all of you guys for just how you are. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how little you are. I don't care what size you wear. I don't care what kind of money you have. Vehicle you have, don't have, what kind of housing you live in. I don't care about any of that. It's you, the person, that I care about and that I love. And I want the same thing, And we content creators are at a very much of a disadvantage because we invite you guys to watch parts of our life. We present that to you, and that's our choice. But then we don't get to see what your life is really like. And it's easy and I've caught myself doing it too, where I feel like maybe I'm judging somebody I'm watching. You get kind of invested in them, and then you want to make, kind of, you catch yourself judging, and it's like, wait, 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 wait. All I'm seeing is what they're showing me. They don't know anything about my life. I could act like I was, the world's most intelligent person alive, and first off, you go, really? But I'm just kidding. But you don't know any different. I could tell you I'm 5'10" and 120 pounds. Unless you saw a picture of me and saw differently, you wouldn't know. So give us YouTube creators a break because a lot of us are being pretty transparent. Now you can always tell when there's somebody who's just so fake and phony, but a lot of us are pretty transparent on our life. My life isn't anything real exciting. I'm a frustrated artist, and right now I even feel like I probably don't have much of a chance of really selling much artwork with the high price of inflation because people don't have extra money to waste on that stuff. I know I don't. I'm going to keep doing the artwork just because I enjoy doing it. I wanted to start doing some crafts to sell. And now I'm rethinking that because really, if you're really smart about it right now with economics, you're going to sell craft supplies and not finished crafts. Because a lot of people have more time than money. So they're going to want to buy craft supplies and make the stuff themselves rather than go and buy what you've completed. So that's just the way it is. So I'm rethinking that. I probably would just do them for just, gifts and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of hard. I mean, I need to get my sleep somewhat, but I've been really depressed, and that makes it harder too that I want to eat stuff. And, coming to terms with some of the changes in my body, and I used to be able to. And I would tell you guys I bounce back pretty fast. Well, I still bounce back pretty fast, but not completely. I mean, you get to an age, your body just is like Brad. I don't know how many times he didn't know for the longest time he had hip problems because his back had been so bad for so long that then he thought, okay, we thought maybe it was just moving down into his hip. We thought maybe it was part of the neuropathy. Maybe it was a nerve that was just traveling down. That's what we really thought it was a nerve that was the pain and stuff was shooting down. And we had no idea that his hip was the way it was. And why are you looking at me?
Well, remember, one of the things we even looked at was my wallet.
Yeah. We've seen a thing on TV and stuff. I think it was like a 2020 thing about men sitting on their great big wallets and stuff and what harm it does to your hips and your back and stuff. And we even changed that. But he hasn't worn a back hip pocket, a wallet, and so many. He has a wallet that fits around his neck, actually. But you never know. But it's never easy to face. And I guess now I'm kind of facing it now that we know he's going to be okay, even though he has a lot of back pain still. We knew that the hip surgery wasn't going to fix that. But and yes, it's kind of smoky in here. I got a incense cone going, and when we get to the bottom, it's really going. But I'll be okay. I'm gonna need I need to have a ramp because they're easier to walk up, and I'm gonna have to elevate my legs more and you know get our house set up better, and that will help the depression. So all those things we'll be talking about, like chore lists, realistic chore lists, menus, that kind of stuff. Because, see, I might not be able to do certain things, but I can still cook. I can share in that. I don't have a problem doing dishes or any of that kind of stuff, right? So, I don't know how these people go driving by. I don't know if you guys hear that or not. What the heck? That was a minivan.
Huh.
I don't get it. Mom driving the kids in the minivan, and we got. But anyway, I don't mean to sound like a Debbie Downer. It's just part of life. Um, you know, love me or hate me. I don't care. I'm me. I'm not going to change to suit anybody else's needs any longer. I did that my whole life. I'm not doing it now. I am just who I am. You know, if you can't stand how I am, then, bye. You know, because I'm not going to change and I don't expect anybody to change for me. You know, if you can't get behind it and be supportive of how I am, and you really need to get water in that fountain still.
Okay.
Um, sometimes, sometimes I have to remind you many times.
Yeah.
You need to start writing it down.
Yeah. I will go right now.
But we have this water fountain that actually he gave to me for Christmas, and then now I've moved it out to the front room because first off, I don't think it's ever really conducive to have trickling water in your bedroom, and I needed the space on my art desk and stuff. So it's better out here, but it needed water, and I got a water plant too. But yeah, I just haven't been feeling real good. I've been super shaky, super cold, very tired, and I've been in quite a bit of pain. And then I've been having a lot of mobility problems. I'm gonna have to start using a cane full time, I think. Um, you know, not the first person to do that. I know that. So, I'm gonna work on the mobility when we get this house set up. I've got to have this house set up because I can't think straight, and it's the biggest catalyst to my depression right now. The house is always just, you know. So we're gonna have to sit talk about what we're actually gonna do because I can't handle this anymore. They can't see you nod your head off camera.
I've got a list of stuff I want to get done tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because now that things are switched and I need your help. Cause, yeah, a lot of the depression is the house.
Yeah.
I want things and I want things just kind of streamlined. Some of these extra appliances and stuff we need to just donate, or else take it to that trade it store. I might have to read more what that is, but evidently you take stuff. You guys ever had any familiar dealings with a store called Trade It? To me, it seems like you take stuff that you don't want, you trade it for other stuff that you don't need, and you bring it home. You know, you might have some tools or something that you want. So that's what's going on. Anything else?
I can think of.
We'll get it figured out. But I'm just being as real and transparent with you guys as I can be. I need love and acceptance. I don't need criticism or anything. When I feel like people are even nicely suggesting or telling me what they've done for weight loss, if I haven't asked, it feels like I feel like I'm being judged, even though I may not be. It's just my whole history and stuff. But I can tell you, my mother was ruthless about my weight. And that was the biggest thing they all loved to make fun of, even though she was very overweight, had put the weight back on and stuff. They were all very ruthless about my weight, his weight, you know. So
That's why I swear you had to have been adopted because you're nothing like those people.
I'm an alien. I'm an alien, you know. It's like I'd like to travel and stuff more. I'm not able to right now. There's no way. We're not even well, first off with the gas prices, but if it wasn't the gas prices, and even if we did have a newer vehicle, I would have to really, we're looking at maybe taking a cruise for that reason, because usually I've read where there's some cruises for special needs and stuff, where they, of course they have an onboard doctor and stuff, so you can get some limited medical care and stuff, so we'll see. I don't know. It's a hard thing to leave your animals. And I know that sounds really funny. Oh, look, Angel's sleeping over there by Nixie.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, look.
Oh, she is.
Yeah, that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
The cat's over here by the dog, sleeping, curled up in a ball. She's doing much better. Much better.
She has done so much better. You had the brilliant idea about trying the different type of cat food.
It's always scary, though, but you change her cat food at all. And I know some of you guys that way, they just get sick, but even that, it's called creamery something. I don't know. I don't see the box here, but it's like it's got a touch of milk in it. It's a fancy feast pate, and it says it has a touch of milk in it.
Creamery Delights.
Creamery Delights. It's a little it's a can. It's the fancy feast, the smaller cans, but she loves it. She does well. It's made for sensitive stomachs, so we're not giving her the other stuff at all now. But she's doing really well. That's why this morning she was in squawking.
Yeah.
Because she wanted to be fed.
Yeah.
We need to develop an automatic cat feeder thing. But now she's like, early in the morning, you get up, come feed me, then you can go back to bed. Thank you very much. So.
Well, like with him, sticking his head inside my bedroom door and barking, and he's laughing at me because I'm stuck to the ceiling.
Then he go dive underneath the bed. You know, you can't get him there either.
Yep.
You know, I can't repeat what I hear Brad say. But, no. And I say, one thing is, as I said this, I did this whole video one time before, and then I didn't like how it was, so I'm redoing it. Is, thank goodness, so, as much as Brad can irritate the living daylights out of me sometimes, and I know I can him too, we're not even going to pretend. We've been together 34 years now, married for 33. I know I can push the Evan daylights out of anybody. So if you live with me 24/7 like he does, you know, let's say that he gets a certain amount of sainthood just for that.
Oh, it's a piece of cake.
But you're a liar. Sometimes it can be a little difficult with the bipolar and the depression and stuff. It can be. Thank goodness you're very understanding. Sometimes I get very weepy and stuff. I mean, I can run hot and cold. But and part of that is, just a whole lot of abuse and stuff. Uh, you know, pre-Brad. But he always takes care of all of the medical insurance because I have no patience to deal with those people. And he takes care of setting up our new health insurance, even though that kills me every time we have to pay that premium. Or it's a premium, yeah. And but he also deals with I forgot what I was gonna say. You deal with getting all of like the discount cards for some of the prescription. Like a lot of your insulins and stuff, look into who the manufacturer is and then see if there's a coupon or a discount coupon that usually will last 6 months to a year, and that will save you thousands of dollars. Seriously. We could not have the Ozempic if it wasn't for that because it runs over $1,000 for one person for a month, and we pay 25 because he's found a manufacturer coupon. And if you don't know, ask your pharmacist. A lot of times they'll know whether or not there's a coupon that will help. Or they may have an idea of who you could ask. They will at least know who manufactures that drug and point you in that direction. But he always takes care of that for the Ozempic. We're on Trujillo. He's got that from $44 down to $10, and I mean it all helps. And when we took Victoza, we had coupons for that, manufacturer's coupons. So we really look into that. It doesn't, and then use your good RX still. If you find a drug is just really high and stuff, use your good RX because a lot of times you can really get it down. So, but I do really appreciate that you always take care of that stuff because, I mean, that can be maddening. That can be really maddening. So.
Well, everything you do around here to save us every little penny.
I try. I need to just stay focused on that because if I can't think too much about my health and stuff, people, because I do get depressed about it and I feel like it's very hopeless sometimes. So I have to kind of shove that. If you guys ever wonder why, well, she's not, taking it really as for grant as being as proactive should be because there's only so much psychologically I can take about that. Nobody wants to deal with thinking, from what they're telling you, all doom and gloom and everything. I don't want to. No, I'm not the doom gloomer. I just want to, live my life the best I can. So, I'm not a petri dish. I'm not a specimen in a petri dish. All my life, they wanted to act like I said specimen in a petri dish. Oh, this is really unusual. Let's look at this. No, we're not. No. I'm a person, you know. So, can you quit with your unwrapping of candy? Was crinkly. Anyway, I started another hat. Big surprise, right? Really liking this color on this. Let me show you. Is this is soft and shiny. It's by Yarn Lane. loops and threads, and it's soft and shiny, and it is, uh, let's see, it is number 4 medium. Where is your color? Color is baby rainbow. And it's a nice, so yeah, I don't know, to me it seemed kind of spring-like. So that's what all I got for today. I need to go in and do some work in my bedroom because it's the biggest mess ever. You can tell how depressed I am by how bad my bedroom is. You ever wonder why my bedroom looks like such a mess by morning time? And I wouldn't be in as much pain at night if I just go to sleep.
But that's something that you always spot.
Yeah, you know why.
Yep.
So, bad things happen in the dark. That's all I'm going to say. But, anyway, I'll be fine. I'm just talking out loud. It was important to me to kind of put that out there because I know some of my friends are very well-meaning and everything, and I appreciate it, but that's really a super delicate subject with me, and I don't need to feel like anybody is, you know, trying to push me or criticize me or anything because we're all very different, and I mean, not everybody that's overweight dies an early death. Whereas grandmother used to be a very large woman. She used to be about my size, maybe a little larger. And I mean, toward the end, no, she was teeny tiny, and she just had lost all that naturally. But she was in her 90s, wasn't she? 92. I mean, So my grandmother lived a long time too, and you know, she used to be a lot bigger than when you met her.
Okay.
Yeah, every woman I know, they all lose weight as they get older.
Grandma Maxine or Grandma Anna?
Both. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Grandma Anna was really big lady, and then Grandma Grandma Anna and Grandma Maxine, and then my mom and stuff, and so my mom had been miserable all of her life about her weight, and she only would ever go out and ever be a part of anything if she had lost a lot of weight. Other than that, she would not. She wouldn't even go to a store or anything. And I don't want to live my life that way. If it wasn't for the Rona and being very susceptible to infection, I would be out a lot more. Probably not socializing a lot more. I'm not that much of a social creature, but I love to be outdoors and stuff. I love to see museums and um, natural wonders. I mean, unique rock formations, hieroglyphics, hilo,
Hieroglyphics.
yeah, which we saw some in Wyoming and stuff. So I'm not giving up. Never going to give up, but I'm just kind of taking maybe a different route. There's a million ways to do something. Sometimes you got to reroute. What do you do when you get into a roadblock? You reroute. And if it's not possible to get to that destination, you pick another destination. That's all you can do, and that's the way life is. So, anyway, I love you guys. But my stomach's kind of upset and stuff. I'm gonna probably get something to drink and go make heads or tails out of my bedroom for a while. So, I love you guys, and I do cherish your friendship so very much. And I think you guys are awesome. And everybody say bye to Brad.
Bye, Brad.
Bye, guys.